Cheating Death Podcast is a satirical program containing objective information about anything and everything under the sun. We are not political, nor are we religious. We are analytical and perhaps a bit prodigious. Dear listener, delving into the mind is not for the faint of heart, but you have chosen wisely, as you are about to listen to the Cheating Death Podcast. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we explore the fire within, what it takes for you to believe in yourself, how to start with the pillars of foundation, and giving yourself an opportunity to shine. We provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement, an all-new joke of the episode, and, of course, dear listener, what would this program be without a top 5 list of our current favorite spicy foods? There is a lot awaiting you on the other side. Raise up the temperature, and let us bring the fire to light. For by now you know what to do. Grab yourself that iced coffee, put your feet up, and let us tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Gray skies will often find their ways through lies. When we ultimately realize exactly what it is we catastrophize, there is nothing within our souls that we cannot idealize. Put forward and wage war upon your own world, ladies and gentlemen. When you reach a particular point of no return, when you understand that sometimes your back is up against a wall and you must do everything that you can in order to pursue each and every single area of destiny in which you feel is your path. There is no right answer to discover exactly how to build the foundation within yourself, to identify exactly how capable, how confident, how collected you are. These matters are simple, of your own time, your own energy, your own effort, and everything moving forward. We give ourselves so many reasons to try and work towards a future that would be benevolent, blissful, brilliant, beautiful, and benevolent for all of us. However, understand that sometimes the dice do not roll in your favor. Sometimes the cards that you draw will be the antithesis of what one would consider good fortune. However, We as human beings, regardless of whether or not we go to a casino, we are born gamblers. We choose risky business on a regular basis. We move forward in such a way where individuals, entities, and groups as a whole have not been able to accomplish what some people have been able to identify and work within themselves over the course of time. You look in the mirror and ask yourself exactly what can be done in order to ensure exactly what you as a species and what you as a part of this web can do in order to increase your standing, in order to increase your worth, and in order to identify exactly what specifically you must do to move forward. There are no glossaries to existence, ladies and gentlemen. There are no dictionaries or thesauruses that will tell you step by step, moment by moment, bit by bit, how to configure and how to identify a solution within yourself. So what you must do is you must go and you must explore. Identify the points of contention. See exactly what it is on a scale that only you are really aware of how far it will go either way before it starts to bend and fold. We try our very best with our lives, and the most important part of this understanding is seeing just how much we work towards a brighter tomorrow. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this has been your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag und eine gute Nacht. Ist eine Reisende und eine Ausländer, deine Schauspieler und deine Künstler, deine Allesfresser. Und meine Freunde, heute ist ein schöner Tag, wie alles, ich bin bereit. For today we discuss the fire within, and we move forward in a way to where it is not limited nor conducive to exactly how it is that we function, how it is that we develop the material to ensure the fire is more combustible, to ensure that it is more capable of burning for a longer period of time. The foundations and the pillars to what we put ourselves through, whether it be through calamity, whether it be through stress, whether it be through difficulty, we do everything that we can to configure a solution in a world that is no more arduous than what we make of it. For you see, when you begin your journey of trying to configure exactly how your career and how your life is going to look, you do everything that you possibly can within your soul to see exactly what it is that we can do to change things, how it is that we as people can move forward in a way where we are trying our best to seize that opportunity, to utilize that tinder, to make the spark burn in a way that we have not seen before. Metaphors, ladies and gentlemen, allegories, analogies, it's part of one of the most beautiful elements of life. When we give ourselves opportunity to see exactly what it is that we need to do in order to process our capability and in order to harness what it is inside of us that will make us exactly who we are, we are giving ourselves an opportunity to really truly see exactly what the world can offer us if we put in the required amount of effort that is given within the soul. For you see, as we have mentioned before, each and every single one of us, all of our souls rent these physical vessels for a period of time before we return back to the universal home in which we all dwell. There are no escapes. There are no second guesses. We only have the fire inside of us to make this candle burn as brightly as we possibly can. How that looks to you, whether or not the candle burning is indicative of you being able to believe in your capabilities to become a nuclear physicist, or whether you would rather become an individual in whom is designing and planting cityscapes upon the minds of those in whom wish for a brighter tomorrow. There are no easy answers when it comes to your development in the fire that you possess as a human being. You must locate it within yourself. You must see just how difficult you have worked and how hard you have fought to get yourself to where you are. This fire is always within you. This potential is always inside of your soul. At the end of the day, when you take into consideration just how difficult life can be and how rudimentary some people have it as they drift through, completely unaware of the magic and the majesty of the brilliance of what we share. We are people in whom will do whatever we possibly can to always find a reason to breathe, to always find a reason to fight, to always find a reason to wage war. For you see, the fire within is a metaphor and an allegory, an analogy for you to see exactly what you are capable of within the confines of the domiciles in which we find ourselves in. There are no guarantees in life, as we have said multiple times, and we are absolutely certain that you are well aware. But you and I are very well capable of understanding that just because there is a barrier or there is an obstacle, it does not mean that we are not able to move forward at a way and a rate and a pace that will not keep us from this particular danger or this calamity at any particular point. No, dear listener, for you see, these particular types of situations and calamities are not limited to nor exclusive to any organism outside of humanity. Finding the fire inside of your soul, inside of your mind, is not an easy escape from reality. It is a more difficult and a more arduous march towards the eternal Jacob's ladder of potential consequences. Whether or not you are crushed by the vessel, or you somehow, some way, coordinate just properly enough, and you calculate your movement that you enter the opening with no trespass, and no pain, and no injury. This is indicative of what we are capable of doing as people, and how we move forward into a brighter tomorrow. Harnessing the fire within your soul and within your mind is imperative for your function. It is imperative for your development. We all do what we can at the end of every day to see where the sun lies in comparison to where our fire burns. How is it that we can make the two match? And how is it that we can harness the energy in this capacity to channel our own future? That, dear listener, is a completely capable and most beautiful notion that you and each and every single human being listening to this fine program and within their own domiciles possesses in great number. We as humans, we as souls, we are capable, we are worthy. Give yourself an opportunity to enhance and embrace your fire within and see just what you are capable of accomplishing. Until next time, dear listeners, thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. At the top of today's program, we promised you a list of the top 5 spicy foods currently in our favorite repertoire, our favorite portfolio, or our favorite little list of food that we like to eat. Coming in at number 5, we of course have one of the most delicious spicy foods of all time. And yes, dear listener, we are of course talking about high-level spice beef and chicken shawarma. Coming in at number 4, we have one of the most tasty, unique, and robust spicy foods this side of the equator. And that, dear listeners, would be 5-alarm chili. Coming in at number 3, we have ourselves the ultra spicy burrito with carne asada from Chipotle. Coming in at number 2, we have the angry Whopper, because hey, who doesn't feel a little bit angry in the morning? Coming in at number 1, dear listener, of course, one of the best spicy foods of all time. We are, of course, talking about Mugu Kai Pan with extra lao gan ma and extra chili sauce. What are your top 5 favorite spicy foods? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com or comment beneath this video. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. To whomever religious figure finds it within their hearts to ask their congregation for a new vehicle and then utilize the charitable donations from which they are born and given within the church's services, it is quite clear somebody took Jesus Take the Wheel a bit too seriously, for the then said, "And lo, dear servant, have thee a Toyota Camry." Embracing and enhancing the fire within the soul is imperative to understanding exactly what it is that we must do in order to proceed. The will to persevere, the will to continue to carry on, is not lost upon the souls and the statements we make to ourselves. We work eternally hard for people to move in a way where it is imperative for our hearts and our minds to work in unison. However, it is quite obvious that in some states and conditions that this is simply not possible, that we sometimes miss a cue, that we sometimes miss a step, and we do whatever we possibly can to move forward. However, sometimes that fire, it requires a bit of external stimulation through oxidization and or acceleration. We do not possess all of the answers upon birth, nor will we ever possess all of the answers at any point throughout our existence. Why is this? It is simple, because throughout the echelons of time, we provide ourselves with more areas of opportunity and obstacles than we do our very way of giving ourselves a chance to succeed. These situations, these events that we put ourselves through, they are merely nothing more than tumultuous areas of rooms for improvement. We need to see exactly what it is that brings us to the game, what it is that measures our distance and moves us forward. Because without it, what are we doing here? How is it that we are quantifying our time? Why do we move in such a way that we feel it imperative to do everything that we can, to tell ourselves that we are capable of a certain task, but the moment we move forward to achieve it, or we try to figure ourselves out, we defeat ourselves before we even get out of the gate. This is not only not fair to you, but to those around you who believe in you, who fight for you, who wage war alongside you. They need you to continue to believe in yourself. They need you to understand exactly where you are in this existential plane. The fire within is subjective to interpretation. It can look different to each and every single one of us, but what matters at the end of the day is that we take it with a grain of the most monolithic size of salt and give ourselves an opportunity to spread that spice to everything nice. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nachdem Leben CRDVC, Cleric of Chaos, somewhere you can find all podcasts on all platforms. Please support the program at the links in the episodes and in the podcast description, and follow us at youtube.com/@clericofchaos and youtube.com/@WeAllCheatDeath. If you'd like to purchase merch, media, cameo, or buy us a coffee, much more, support each and every single one of our consultants, producers, comedians, and fine members of the program at the links in the episodes and in the podcast description as well. And if you or anyone you know is experiencing gambling abuse, substance withdrawal, or any emergency calamity, please call one of the toll-free numbers listed in the episode's description as well. If you or anyone you know is looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center. And remember to visit yummypets.com/voice and sign up for a free account to provide animals an opportunity to receive 330 pounds of kibble at the end of the month. You, dear listener, you have faced much adversity and much treachery. You must remember exactly why you fight each and every single day, for there is nothing that can stop you. Remember, life is not one easy solution, not a straight and narrow road, and you will overcome and achieve. Remember, we are pulling for you. We're all in this together.